Gentlemen and all the viewers of the Zexon Amidu Chelsea updates, Zexon Amidu YouTube Sports TV. Ladies and gentlemen and all my viewers, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching from. This time I've again come back to wrap up on the Champions League quarterfinals on how things went up. Earlier on, I'd given that was the pre-match Champions League access predictions and even on what will transpire in those games. And as I'd gone, I think I'd gone like 95% correct over my scores. I'd given Arsenal to go ahead and win this game. FC Barcelona, PSG, Barcelona, Inter Milan and Bayern Munich, I'd given that was an over. So all in all, I was 100% right in what I'd anticipated. Fans and all the followers of sports almost so that is the football history is almost being repeated again. Earlier on, that was in the 2005-2006 season, Arsenal managed to beat that was Real Madrid to project or to rise that is the Uefa Champions League finals, and they were playing up against Barcelona where they lost out. That was 2-1. So this time, to my followers that is in the entire world, and even those ones that had watched me that is on TV previously, I think still history could be repeated. Reason being that Arsenal, in one of the biggest game of that is the quarterfinals, Arsenal managed to win. That was 3-0, where the whole world had thought that the Galacticos of Real Madrid, or the defending champions, could go ahead and win this game. However, it was a reverse fixture at the Emirates Stadium where the boys of that is Mikel Arteta rose to the occasion and showcased the Real Madrid team, or the defending team, or even the world-class giants and even the Spanish giants, that you are two below us. Reason being that Arsenal, no matter the position they are in, current, that is in the English Premier League, second position, they try to rise to the occasion, beating that was Real Madrid 3-0. We had so many talking points in this game. Reason being, we had the likes of Mikel Merino rising to the occasion, the likes of Declan Rice also showcasing their warfare. Earlier on, we had criticism, or he defied that is the critics when they said that the 100 million pounds that was bought that is for him from West Ham Football Club wasn't his warfare. But with such impressive performances, many people, all the critics, are now being kept silent with such a massive display that Declan Rice showcased. Some few analysis on that game on how it transpired. At the start of the first whistle, Arsenal kept on being rampant over Real Madrid, and it's by God's blessing that Real Madrid managed to only be beaten. That was 3-0, because they would have been beaten that was more goals, like 8 goals or 10 goals. We have to give credit that is the number one goalkeeper, that is Thibaut Courtois, the former goalkeeper at Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, and even currently at Real Madrid Football Club. He made that is numerous saves alongside that is his defenders, the likes of Jude Bellingham, the likes of that is Alaba, cleared many balls off the line, meaning that Arsenal were just rampant. Some of the talking points, we had the likes of Bukayo Saka being impressive in this game. That is sit-in striker and Spanish superstar Mikel Merino was very instrumental, meaning that ever since the departure of the strikers, has started to suit in that position very well, and is almost scoring a game in and game out. So at halftime, the game had ended, that was 0-0, but still Arsenal had majority of the ball position and had the most shots on target, and even had the most attempts over the Real Madrid side or the opponent side. Real Madrid too had some chances. The likes of Kylian Mbappe had the chance that he missed out. The likes of Vinicius Jr. had some chance. The likes of Rodrigo were kept silent. The likes of Luka Modric in the midfield were kept silent by the ever influential that is midfield general that is Thomas Partey, who looked very influential in this game. The other game, before I put that one down, because we remember the second leg will be coming back, that is on the 16th, of Real Madrid up against that is Arsenal. We don't know whether Real Madrid can overturn this result, as people like Vinicius Jr., the likes of Kylian Mbappe, who stated earlier on that this game is not yet done until it's done. So to the fans, I think this will be one of the biggest games that we have to fight for, to showcase who is the next king of European football. Inter Milan went, that is to Bayern Munich or the Allianz Arena, where we'll be having the finals of the UEFA Champions League, and managed to beat, that was Bayern Munich, 2-1. This game is still very close, reason being that Inter Milan still have 1 goal advantage. Goals coming in from the likes of Frates. However, the talking point was Martinez's thumping shot, that is at halftime, which was a massive finish. However, Bayern Munich also managed to pull 1 goal back. However, it wasn't enough for Vincent Kompany's side to go ahead with a win. So we still have, that is a big game on the 16th, still on the same day as Arsenal and Real Madrid will be playing. So the Champions League, we are only having some amazing facts that is in this game, and this season's winner will be a classic one. To wrap up, yesterday we had other big games. The likes of FC Barcelona, we are playing up against Champions League runners up, that is the previous season, Borussia Dortmund, at their home stadium, where that is Barcelona just went rampant over Borussia Dortmund, thumping them, that was 3-0, where we saw records being broken and many people rising to the occasion. People like Rafinha, who we thought that are not class of, that is Barcelona, are playing football to their topmost. Reason being, as per now, Rafinha has been involved, that is in 18 goal contributions. He's currently the top scorer, that is in the Champions League, with 12 goals. However, the pressure is on him by his fellow teammate, that is the Polish goal machine, or aka Robert Lewandowski, who is just second to him, and even in the Spanish La Liga is the top scorer, that is Robert Lewandowski, with 25 goals. Yesterday, Borussia Dortmund had brought a game which was a good one at first, to defend in large numbers and attack, that is in large numbers. However, Barcelona were an exception, or they looked such a massive force up front, and that is Borussia Dortmund couldn't hold on the overwhelming force of, that is Borussia Dortmund, led by the old man himself, that is Robert Lewandowski, alongside, that is Rafinha, 28 years of age, and even the 17-year-old Lamine Yamal, or the Spanish superstar, who is playing football like never before. And this could be the young player to win, that is the Ballon d'Or, if at all he continues with such performance. A reason being that yesterday, Hans Flick's side managed to win this game convincingly. However, towards the dying minutes of the game, Rafinha opened up the scoring, that was in halftime. Robert Lewandowski added with another header. Then at second half, again Robert Lewandowski added with a thumping shot. And finally, that is Lamine Yamal summed it up with, that is a swift finish to make it, that was 4-0, meaning that Barcelona have 1 leg, that is in the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. The last game yesterday still was that is Aston Villa up against, that is PSG, and PSG, fresh from ejecting, that is Premier League leaders Liverpool Football Club, still they did the same by thumping, that is Aston Villa 3-1, where we saw the likes of Dibue scoring, that is a thumping shot, the likes of Kvaratskhelia also scoring a wonderful goal, the likes of many people scored, that is thumping goals. However, that was Aston Villa opened up the scoring through, that is the big man himself, that is Rodgers, the man who has taken the Champions League and even the Premier League at Storm, that is the English superstar, making it 1-0. However, that is PSG managed to respond instantly. The return fixture will be on the 15th, that is on the Tuesday of next week. So to any fan that missed out this game, you have chances to see if at all Unai Emery's side can overturn this result, given the fact that they still have a 2-goal deficit up against PSG. Should they win like 2-0, it means that they will have leveled this game, and they will only need, that is to take this game, that is to extra time. So to my followers and the fans, I think the Champions League is just enticing, so astonishing, so welcoming, so loving. Everything is just in the Champions League. But to the football fans, those are some of the key stats that we had. But I think teams like Arsenal, teams like Barcelona, teams like Inter Milan, Bayern Munich and Aston Villa alongside Real Madrid are all worthy to be champions, depending